establishing a new border security command, and delivering enhanced counter-terror powers to tackle organized immigration crime.
King Charles breaks silence amid explosive calls for a general election. You're not going to believe what just happened. After weeks of silence, King Charles has finally stepped into the storm. A storm that's been building louder and louder across Britain, the furious demand for a general election. And now, the King's words are being dissected line by line, with people asking, is this the moment that changes everything? Here's what went down. For months, the UK has been drowning in political chaos. Broken promises, rising costs, collapsing trust. The opposition is hammering the government at every turn, protesters are marching in the streets, and poll after poll shows the public has had enough. The message is clear: people want an election, they want it now, not in 2 years, not in 6 months, but immediately. And that pressure has reached the palace. During a rare public engagement, King Charles delivered remarks that, on the surface, seemed measured and cautious. But between the lines, many heard something far more explosive. He acknowledged the strain on the nation's patience, he spoke of the people's enduring right to be heard, and he made a point of saying that leadership must be accountable to those it serves. Now, think about that. For a constitutional monarch, who is normally expected to remain strictly neutral, this was close to a thunderclap. Not a direct call for an election, no. But enough to spark headlines everywhere. King hints at democratic reset. Royal intervention stirs debate on early polls. And the timing couldn't be more significant. Because within the next 72 hours, Parliament faces one of the fiercest showdowns in recent history. Opposition MPs are pushing for an emergency debate, some even drafting motions that could force a confidence vote. The government, weakened and fracturing, is scrambling to project strength. And into this volatile mix comes a monarch's carefully chosen words. Reactions were immediate. One senior Labour figure told reporters, "When even the palace is echoing the public mood, you know the government's days are numbered." Meanwhile, Conservative loyalists pushed back hard. A minister went on record saying, "The king was speaking about general principles, not politics. Anyone twisting this into an election call is being irresponsible." But the public, they heard something else entirely. Social media lit up. One tweet read, "King Charles is saying what we're all thinking. We need a vote, and we need it now." Another user fired back, "If the king has to nudge politicians to listen, what does that say about our democracy?" And here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about one speech. This is about a country simmering with frustration. The strikes, the soaring bills, the endless scandals, it all feeds into one question. How long can the government hang on before the pressure becomes unbearable? Remember, Britain has a history of monarchs carefully shaping moments without ever openly declaring political positions. Queen Elizabeth II mastered the art of subtlety, using single phrases to calm or encourage without crossing the constitutional line. And now, it seems Charles is learning that same delicate dance. But critics warn there's danger here too. One political commentator told Sky News, "If the king is perceived as siding with the people against the government, it sets a precedent. Monarchs are supposed to unite, not intervene. It could backfire." Yet others argue, maybe that's exactly why it matters. Maybe the symbolism of a king, even hinting at the public's demand, is enough to rattle the establishment. And make no mistake, Westminster is rattled. Behind closed doors, MPs are calculating. Some are whispering about leadership challenges. Others are warning that dragging this out only deepens the damage. And with polls showing trust at rock bottom, the sense of inevitability is growing. So where does this leave us? In the next 72 hours, Britain faces a moment of truth. If opposition leaders succeed in forcing a debate, if confidence votes start rolling, the government may have no choice but to bow to pressure. If they resist, the anger outside Westminster's walls could grow into something far harder to contain. And looming over it all, the king's words. Subtle, careful, but powerful enough to shift the conversation. Powerful enough to remind politicians that the people, not the party machines, are the ultimate authority. So here's the question that hangs over every headline right now. Was this the first real sign that the monarchy itself feels the pulse of frustration? Or was it just an unfortunate phrasing, blown out of proportion by a desperate opposition and a hungry media? Either way, one thing is certain. The next 3 days will shape not just the future of this government, but the credibility of Britain's entire political system. And when historians look back, they may well say this was the week King Charles broke the silence.